19-year-old Ejikeme Mmesoma, who has been in the news of a forgery of JAMB result, has now been told to undergo psychotherapy for 3 months. The State Commissioner for Education in Anambra State, Professor Ngozi Chumaude, who disclosed this on behalf of the Anambra State Governor, Chrles Soludo, said, and I quote, that we consider what Mmesoma did as juvenile delinquency to which any child could fall victim. So we are not going to throw the baby away with the bath water. Recall that the 19-year-old student has begged the JAMB Admission Matriculation Board to temper justice with mercy over the 3 years ban placed on her to write the exams. That is the crux of our discussion. So joining us in the studio is a certified cognitive behavior therapist, Wemimo Adebi. It's nice to have you join us this morning.
It's nice to be
Welcome.
here. Thank you.
Great. Now, this Mmesoma issue has been on the news since that time. Social media hasn't let it go yet. It's still there. However, the crux is the issue of trying to make other people understand, as that to set an example of it, to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And there are other young students who may want to toe that line, could have a rethink, whatever the thing is. But let us start from the issue of the state government calling this issue a juvenile delinquency. Some people have said, well, it's the case of a forgery, so it is a criminal offense and all of that. She's also above 18, so she's no longer a juvenile. All of those things are in the mix, but help us straighten this thing up. How should we view it? Juvenile delinquency or a criminal offense?
Okay, thank you very much. I like to say that we need to deal with understanding when it comes to the issue of this particular girl.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about a 19-year-old, but she didn't evolve into becoming 19-year-old, okay? She started from 0, 1, 2, 3, 10, and nobody is talking about the journey, okay? Nobody is talking about the home she came from. Nobody is looking at who exactly raised her. We're not looking at the childhood experiences, especially the negatives that she may have experienced in life. And we're not looking at the esteem issue that she may be struggling with. So when we talk about an individual, especially a 19-year-old, this person is not yet a full-grown adult. And in psychology, there's something we talk, when we look at the brain, the mind, okay, of a 19. All right, under the law, we say 0 to 18, you're an adult. But realistically,
0 to 18, you're a minor.
And from 18, you are an adult.
From 18, yeah, you are an adult. But we are forgetting something, that the brain of that individual, male, female, is not fully formed to take an informed decision. Okay, so an individual in that category can take a decision influenced by the society, influenced by survival, influenced by peer pressure, influenced by, poor, wrong upbringing. So we shouldn't look at the angle of tagging this individual a criminal. Let's dig deeper, and I think that is where the governor, of the state looked into with an understanding, saying, let's help this individual. There is more to it than tagging her a criminal.
So what do you think should, form part of, this 3-month session that Mmesoma is built to have with the state government? Of course, the government has broken down some of the things that eventually there is the expectation that she will serve as a mentor to her peers. But, from your own expert, perspective, help us understand what to expect from her case.
All right. The purpose of this journey, should be to help her explore herself, basically. Because when you're dealing with a teen or you're dealing with a young adult, most of them do not yet have the full understanding of who they truly are. So within this time frame, 3 months, to me, I believe is just the start. is the beginning. It will not really get her into the depth of who she truly is in terms of self-awareness. But she's quite lucky, okay, for her to have been able to find herself in a situation where somebody says, let's get you on a journey. Okay, so what this should do is, number one, it should help her explore herself. Because while I was following the news, I discovered that it was only her father who was speaking. Nobody showed up as a mother, okay, saying, this is my daughter, this is, you know, she was left, perhaps the person was behind the camera or whatever. But where I'm going is, I asked the question, who mothered her, as it were? Did she ever find love? Did anyone ever validate her? Okay, fine. Environmental issues concerning, you know, what we're having in our world today. All right, but I still believe what kind of value was instilled in her? What kind of who parented her? Let me put it that way. You know, so this counseling session, the therapy, would help her to discover herself, will help her to reshape her values, because she sure has values, but she has it in the wrong direction, okay? And it will also give her the opportunity to tell more, because when I looked at her after everything, you know, came to limelight, I could see, like, there's something more to this person than, you know,
that she's not telling.
Yeah, that she's not telling. And you never can tell. She could be a victim of a dysfunctional home. She may not even have a root, as it were. So, but this session will help her rediscover herself, find herself, you know, self-discovery, and then bring on her strength in a positive direction, basically. And also, you know, when an individual gets exposed negatively, one of the things that happens to the person is the esteem will be punctured, okay? And then self-worth will become zero.
Okay, just in 1 minute before we let you go, students who find themselves in examination malpractice, because they too fall in that
Yes.
category of age and maybe almost the same kind of relative delinquency, if I have to put it that way. Should we subject all of them? Should that be the recommendation, where students like that who are caught should be subject to this kind of counseling instead of prosecution?
Every behavior comes with its own consequences. I think there should be policies, there should be punishment. However, we shouldn't just leave them at the level of punishment where they become more hardened. We should look at ways to punish you, face, you know, the consequences, and then we fix you. Okay, face it while we fix you.
All right. So it's all about not throwing away the baby with the bathwater.
Yes.
All right. We have to leave it here now because of time. But we thank you so much, Mmesoma Adebi, for coming on the program this morning. Thank you. We'll have more time to talk about this as we get along. Thank you.